I would like to welcome you all to this very special day. We have our mentors, director and professor as well as students of Taxila batch 326. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome and good morning. This is a very special session for all of us as I, Ankita Tiwari,
Hi, Sonia Tamam.
are glad to be a part of this first guest lecture of the season. The subject of this particular session is LinkedIn as powerful professional tool. Who better than Ms. Nidhi Mehta to provide insights as to how our LinkedIn profile could become a powerful professional tool in the future.
I have a very similar background like all of you. I went to a B school called SP Jain Institute of Management and Research in Mumbai. When I went to that college, I am an LSR graduate. I was completely clueless of what I wanted to do in life. I had no ambitions. I had no even a remotest thought of what life would be for me. And it was a scary place to be because I was amongst a lot of students, especially in SP Jain, a lot of the people who came. They came from IITs and BITS Pilani and mostly by engineering, and then I landed up as one of the youngest kids over there, straight out of college with no experience in life whatsoever. And I'm hearing them talk about which company they want to join, what they want to do in life, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how did I land up here? I don't even know what I want to do in life. How do I make a resume? Over time, I think God was very grace. He had a lot of grace on me. I managed to get a very good campus job, and life happened. Moved to entrepreneurship. 20 years later, I'm standing in front of you, trying to share my journey and tell you how things can really move along in your life, and you can use tools to your own benefit to create a life that you personally want and you envision for yourself. You just have to have the willingness to work hard, to push boundaries, and to create innovative paths for yourself, as Gaurav mentioned, right? And a lot of things in life, whether you talk about entrepreneurship, whether you talk about creating opportunities, whether you talk about finding the right dream job for yourself where you always wanted to work, comes out of a very, very important skill set, which is called networking. And one of the most effective tools for networking, from all the experience that I've had, and I do a lot of work in digital marketing, in social media footprint, anything that you can think of which is related to marketing, networking, and sales. In my experience, if you have to spend your time in one thing on the internet to create opportunities for yourself, it would be LinkedIn. That's why and I'm not an employee of LinkedIn. They don't pay me to do this session. I do it because I feel that if you use it resourcefully, it can create a lot of opportunities and open doors for you, and that is why I want to tell you how you can use it so that you don't waste time trying to figure out life like a lot of times I had to, and you don't get intimidated by, oh my God, this company doesn't come to campus, so mera kya hoga? You can actually create those opportunities, whether those companies come to campus or not. If you're very focused on where you want to be, you can look for them and make sure that you can create an opportunity for yourself. So I'll start with why LinkedIn as a digital platform, okay? And you see the statistics. I'm only going to talk. I'm not going to read out the slides because they're already here. LinkedIn is the only professional platform in the world which is actively used by people who are CEOs, who are industry veterans, who are in leadership positions, HR people, recruiters, students, entrepreneurs, you name it, anybody who has a professional side to them should be there on LinkedIn. And it has a global footprint, so it's not limited to a Jaipur or a India or just a few countries, Asia, it's everywhere. So what it does for you is it opens your access to the world. It doesn't limit your access to just Taxila or the companies that come here. It gives you access not just to India but to the world. And you have to understand how to harness this access. Next. So read the statistics for yourself, right? I told you it's one of the largest professional networks. What kind of companies are active on LinkedIn? Have a look at that. 50 million companies. The number of job posts that come on LinkedIn. The number of people who find jobs through LinkedIn, and not just through the job posts that are done, but through people who refer them. So networking again. It is literally like your resume on the internet, which is accessible to the whole world without you having posted to them, right? So the difference between a resume and a LinkedIn profile is, LinkedIn profile is open access to anybody who knows you. When I go and search for Sonia and her full name on the internet, or you go and search for Nidhi Banthia Mehta or Nidhi Mehta entrepreneurship on Google, the first thing that will pop up is either my website or my LinkedIn profile, right? So what you will do is, if you don't know about me and I was coming in here as a speaker and you were thinking, do I really want to go and attend a session, or should I just sit in my room, it's a Saturday, and do some other work, you will say, let me see if it's worth going for her session, right? So you'll go and Google, ki hai kaun Nidhi? You'll go and Google, my LinkedIn profile pops up, say on top, you go click on it, you read, and suddenly you say, oh, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, oh, she's worked with UN Women, oh, she's done this, chalo yaar chal ke sunte hain, what does she have to say, right? So what it does is, it gives you an impression about me. Like we say, judging the book by its cover. Unfortunately, in the digital world that we live in today, people do judge us by its cover. So when they judge you by the cover has to be really beautiful for them to want to open the book to read. Because the choices of books in today's world are many. So how do you make yourself so presentable on the internet that when somebody lands on your profile, they just stop there and say, wow, I need to connect with them, or I should get her in for an interview, or I should actually think this guy has amazing skill sets, we are looking for it, let's at least get him in and see what he's all about. And that opens your first door to what you want to do. Next. Okay, why is a LinkedIn profile important for you? I will tell you this, whether you want to make a resume or not, whether you want to be on Facebook or not, Instagram or not, irrelevant, you have to be here. If you are in the market to create a career for yourself, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to look for a job, you want to be a leader in the company, your presence is the most important key over here. And I actually personally feel that every college needs to have a session, which is like a professional session on how to build an effective LinkedIn profile, because it's as important as the textbook learning you're going through. This will get you more. And this will get you the opportunity to share the textbook knowledge that you have, because you need people to hear what you're doing. So the first place where hiring managers and recruiters go to find talent. They want to see, they are looking for, say, a digital marketing specialist. They want, nowadays remote working is such a common thing. So somebody who's looking for a digital marketing specialist sitting in Germany, and they say remote working is fine with us, a hybrid model, they want to get the best. And if they are going to get a really good resource from India, whose profile is impressive, whose work is impressive, they are okay to hire you. So imagine this, that it opens your door just because you have the right skill sets, which somebody has found. They're willing to pay you in dollars or euros for the work, and they appreciate your work. But how will you make yourself visible to them? They don't come here, they may not even know that you exist in this world. Your existence becomes known to them from LinkedIn. You gain a lot of credibility for your work through LinkedIn. So a LinkedIn profile should never be कि मैंने अपनी photo लगा दी, लिख दिया कि this is my name and I study in Taxila, I'm an MBA graduate and my LinkedIn profile is done. No. A LinkedIn profile has to be very thoughtfully created. It has to be crafted with the right keywords. When we talk about SEO, it has to have those elements on your summary. A very attractive headline which becomes a showstopper and makes people say, okay, fine, this guy has some mettle. This girl is worth it. Let's get her into for an interview because this is the skill set I'm looking for. Seems like she has it. Okay? So all of this has to be present on your LinkedIn profile to make it very, very effective. And you have some amazing things that LinkedIn does. It allows you to actually have job search queries done. So you can search that I'm only looking for jobs, say in India, or I'm only looking for a job in Bangalore. You can search by your geographical location or preference. You can search by titles, that I want to go in as an assistant manager, assistant something, or I want to go in on a manager level, so I only want these kind of designations. I want something that's remote. I want something that's 100% travel. I want something that's hybrid model. Anything you want, you can filter, and all of this is for free. So imagine this, you have a tool in your hand which is a free resource. The only thing that's stopping you from getting to that access is yourself and your laziness or your unawareness, nothing else. Establish yourself as an industry expert. I love entrepreneurship. Okay, I love it as a subject. I love it as a tool of empowerment. I feel it is the single most powerful tool that can change the face of the world, that can eradicate unemployment from the world. A lot of that by, like how Gaurav said, by creating innovation. Entrepreneurs, it doesn't mean that I have to have an Amazon. Every entrepreneur's journey is to create an Amazon. Entrepreneurship is somebody who even runs a Saras parlor over there. She's an entrepreneur. Somebody who's selling something on the thela, right? Like vegetables, she's an entrepreneur. She is creating a better life for herself through self-employment. And maybe she has certain tools and techniques or he will have which are innovative, where he'll say कि आप ये केला लीजिए, आपको इसके साथ एक apple free मिलेगा. So people start going there more and buying more कि चलो ये apple free दे देती है. That's her innovation in her own domain to create more sales for herself, right? So establish yourself as an industry expert. What I do, if you go to my profile, you'll see I talk a lot about entrepreneurship. I share a lot of thought leadership on entrepreneurship. I talk a lot about business. I talk a lot about women in business because that's a very personal interest topic to me. All of that. So what that does is when somebody comes on my profile, they say, my God, she lives, breathes and sleeps entrepreneurship. Right? And the track record shows, because she's been an entrepreneur for 20 years now, she trains people to be entrepreneurs or successful business people. So there's a credibility that comes because I'm expressing that. And how will my expression get credibility? Because there are people who can view it. If I write in my personal diary which nobody can read, how would Gaurav know that I'm the right person to come and talk about it? He won't. It's only because he's seen me talk about this somewhere or somebody else told him that he said, okay, maybe I should get Nidhi to come and talk about it, which could benefit a lot of people. So making yourself visible in a public domain where people can really see what your skill sets or your interests are all about, and then create opportunities for yourself. Next. These are, no, the other way. Yeah. Okay. LinkedIn has this tool, right? So if you make your profile complete, every section well done, it's all complete to the extent that somebody can get a lowdown on what your skill sets are all about, what you do, what your education has been, what your projects have been. It becomes an all-star profile and it shows. So initially what I realized when I was I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, right? I started to realize that even for entrepreneurship founders, leaders, the first thing I tell them is you have to have a rockstar LinkedIn profile if you want to start doing work, getting business development through LinkedIn and all of that done. And I realized that people can't write about themselves. Because they feel if I'm writing about myself, either I'm talking, tooting my horn, तो सब हंसेंगे कि देखो अपने बारे में क्या-क्या लिख रहे हैं, or they underwrite, and which means that you're not showcasing your true potential, or you overwrite thinking, oh my God, all the recruiters are going to see me here, so I'm this, I'm that, I can do this, which when people interview you, they realize that half of it is not getting delivered. So you lose an opportunity. So there has to be a very balanced approach in what you're writing and how you're showcasing yourself, and which is why writing next in good LinkedIn profile is of prime importance. It's your personal brand. It's your first footprint into the public domain. Your public persona. Like I said, when somebody Googles you, what they see is this. So is it impressive? Would somebody really want to be friends with you after reading it? They want to network with you, they want to connect with you, or even accept your connection? Or do they just want to say, forget it, not impressed, and let it go? So how does an employer, recruiter, or a college decide who to choose from various available candidates? 50,000 people applied to this college. How do they decide that 50 of these need to be picked out? They do their research, right? So you want to figure out on your LinkedIn profile, what is the uniqueness that makes you stand out from the rest of it? Is it a skill set? Is it something you've done? Is it something that you aspire to do? What is it? What can you deliver for them? What can you do for me? What can I do for my college? What can I do for the company? And what is that makes you passionate about something that you care about? Whether it's animal rights, whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it is digital innovation, whether it is in a social sector, profit sector, I want to be like a next Amazon of the world. Show your passion, what it is. Show to people that you are the right choice for them. Show me that you are the right choice if I want to hire somebody. And that is when I would say, okay, if they believe that they are the right choice, then I'm willing to interview them and see whether they are really the right choice for me. Set up your account using your email. So how many of you have a LinkedIn ID? And just be authentic. And it's fine if you don't. I never had a LinkedIn profile for the longest time. Okay, great. So those who don't have it, set up your account using your email. It's very, very simple to do. You can even import your contacts from your Gmail, Yahoo, whatever. So you have them on. Create your profile and a photo. Photo is important because you're a face to the name. So why do we always, when we're doing virtual sessions, sometimes you have speakers saying, please switch on your videos if you have bandwidth. At least I know who I'm speaking to, right? So face to the name is important. Put a nice profile photo, not your party photo from last night, not a crazy photo, but a photo which gives a little bit of a headshot of a professional side of you, okay? This is not a party place, it's not a Facebook, it's not an Instagram. Please remember this. It is a place where people come who want to network and talk about work, opportunities, global politics, all of that. They don't want to talk about where did you shop your dress last night, I loved what you were wearing, so where were the earrings from? No. Those conversations don't happen on LinkedIn. And you can download the LinkedIn mobile app because it's a super, super effective way to do quick connect requests. That I use LinkedIn like how? So I can tell you the mobile app is very, very user-friendly and it can really make you push yourself and do more connects. Next. Your LinkedIn profile basically you must tell a story. So you have something called a summary. Summary is where you can talk about what your journey has been. Because you're in college, you haven't really had too much of work experience. You can talk about where you aspire to be. You can talk about things that interest you, what certifications you've done online, which kind of have built upon or upskilled you in the area that you really want to specialize in. It has one of the most powerful tools of LinkedIn that I love, and especially for job searching, is recommendations. At the end of it has recommendations, and use it powerfully. Ask your professors, ask your previous employers, ask somewhere you're doing internship, send them a request, it's a recommendation with DJ. One is, I'm talking about myself through my profile. And the second is, you are talking about my skill sets, which has more credibility and weightage. Of course, what you are saying about me. So it almost works like a reference on a resume. People say, furnish 2 references in your resume so we can talk and verify what you're saying is correct. This is a live reference too. So ask for recommendations so that it gives credibility to everything that you've written out there about yourself. And use it very, very effectively. It is very interactive so people can connect with you. A recruiter is looking for a certain profile. They send an email to you in message and say, would you be interested? We have this open position. Please share your resume. And one of the greatest things about LinkedIn is, if there is a LinkedIn job, right, that is there, and you want to apply for it, you can straight away apply through your LinkedIn profile. So you don't have to sit and build your resume, build some things. Your profile becomes your resume, you change a few things and you send it. So it becomes much quicker for you. So do's of LinkedIn, be authentic, never lie. Never say things that are not true. Very, very authentic, and be creative. You can be creative in your authenticity, right? You can be creative in the way you project yourself. That I have done a leadership program, say with YI, right? In that leadership program, I inculcated skills or imparted skills on Masoom. I went to so many schools, all of that. It has to be factual reality. There is no room for something which is not factual. Use short, concise paragraphs. Be very careful of your grammar, what you're writing, because again, remember, it's showcasing who you are. So if you're not writing good English, the person will know that your communication skills are very poor. So you may lose out on an opportunity. So if you can't write it yourself, get professional help. It's worth the money spent, but make sure it's well written. Okay? Make it an all-star profile. Make sure all the sections are very well filled out. All of that is done, so that all of the information about you is available out there. There must be a connection between whatever you're putting. So I did a cooking bakery class when I was in 7th grade. Does it need to be there where I'm thinking that I'm going to go and work with Google and what I did in 7th grade as a cookery class because mommy put me in summer camp? No, doesn't need to be there. Okay, but I did a coding class in grade 10, grade 9, which got my interest into coding, and I realized that's my area of interest that I want to pursue in my life, which got me to go to my BTech or my engineering school and specialize in this field, which got me to now come to a B school because I want to get the managerial skills to move to the management side of work, and this is why all the dots connect. So show things that connect and not are very random, unless the random connects. So my profile is quite random, but ultimately all those randomness connects into dots, right? So there must be a connection that somebody who's reading is able to see. Post relevant articles doesn't mean that the article has to be written by you only. Sometimes you are, say, specializing in EV and you want to work in the EV market. You read a great article in Autocar India. You want to share it with your community on the network. You can share that article, give credit to the source, and write a short snippet yourself, which shows your expression about what you think. That I think EV is going to be the next revolutionizing technology in the world, the way it's going to change the way the planet works, or the way we transport, or whatever it is. Little bit of snippet of a story yourself with the article, you will do. So it expresses your thought leadership as well as it's sharing something informative with your network. If you love to write blogs, write articles. LinkedIn has the options that you can write articles on LinkedIn and then share it anywhere you want. Put your featured skill sets. So there is a line, there is a section where you can add up to 50 skills, I think it's 50 of yourself. So it could be team leadership, it could be supply chain management, customer service, whatever it is. Find the right ones, put it over there. And they also have an option where you can take a skill test. So which basically puts like a star on you that yes, this person is actually like a certified skilled person in coding or in MI, AI, whatever it is, right? And make, like I said, your LinkedIn profile a stellar profile. That when it shows up in Google and people view it, they spend that 30 seconds, 1 minute in seeing the whole profile, and they just don't shut it the moment they open it. And whatever you post, make sure you are aware of what you're posting. Like I said, putting a picture of yourself and saying, oh, I had a great time with my friend last night in a party is not for LinkedIn. Okay? So be very careful of what you're posting because this is your public image to the world. Okay, next. Don't. So like I said, no party or social pictures because sometimes I have seen people do it and I have to tell all my clients that please, it's not Facebook. Here you talk about your work, you don't talk about your social life. You can write about your family but then have a story angle to it. Not just a picture and says, look, I had a great time. No nicknames or funny stuff. People out there are not interested to know what your friends call you, cat-eyed, cutie, no. Only the professional side of yourself. Do not post your social affairs and pictures on LinkedIn. You'll almost become like a spam. And do not leave it with minimal content. Like I said, that there's no picture or there's just a picture and your name and then I study in Taxila Business. No, it's worse. When you're making your profile, make sure it's a complete profile. Spend the time completing it and making sure that it is fully done. Once you have created, like I said, your profile, your next work would be to go and connect with people. When you're connecting means start going backwards. So right now, who's your professor, who's on LinkedIn? Search for anybody you know in your life. Look for them on LinkedIn. If you find them, send them a connect request with a personal note. Or if you think they know you really well, maybe sometimes you don't write a personal note. You must mention your email, phone, your website, all that in the information page so people can connect with you. Like I said, summary is the prime free real estate asset. Write it well, express yourself. Add keywords in your summary, add your location, publish content, and update your profile regularly as required. Right? So if you finished an internship, immediately go and put that in your projects or volunteer service, whatever it is. Right? Okay. Headline is opportunity to show who you are and what you are. So go and see some good profiles and see how they write the headline. What are the things you can write about it? It must represent a little bit about who you are professionally, and you can write about, and it should be, so I feel it's like your elevator pitch, your headline. Then the first thing when somebody reads in 1 second, does it attract them enough to want to know more about your pitch deck, or will they just close it and say, forget it, I don't want it? That's your elevator pitch, and you have to make it really, really crisp and really, really inviting for others to want to get to know you. So look at it like an elevator pitch, and the rest is a pitch deck. So if the elevator pitch is interesting, the investors will look at the pitch deck. If it's not, you lose right there. So spend the time doing a right good one. Next. Summary, I've already told you. Next. You connect, you can look for people. So this is one of the most amazing tools, okay? And I use it a lot for my businesses, for those who I consult. You can search for people by their name. You met Nidhi. Now you're wondering, okay, I'm going to go and connect with Nidhi ma'am. So you can search by my name because you've forgotten what my company's name was. You're looking for people who are in Google, okay? So Google, you're looking for HR executives, people who hire for internship. You can actually search by the word of the company, and you will see everyone who's listed Google as an employer or something about Google would show up there. And then you can see who are the right people that you want to really connect with. You look by the school name. So you can look for people who are, say, alumni of Taxila Business School. You can send them a note and say, hey, I'm a current student and I would like to connect with you, because sometimes they can do job referencing in their companies. That's the easiest to do. Next. You get a lot of career advice, so you can actually search for jobs, internships, and schools for college admissions. You can review and apply for jobs instantly, and you have a dashboard where you can actually do your preferences and search for jobs accordingly, and then keep applying. Engage with your network. It's easier for you. Engage with your network. So one of the things is give recommendations to people. I ask you for a recommendation, right? Say I worked for you. Write a recommendation for you and ask other people to write for you. So you give to people and people will give you, right? So you have a classmate who worked on a project with you. You can't just say that, oh, she should write me a recommendation, but I won't, I'm too lazy. No, it's always about a give and take. So keep giving people recommendations, and genuine recommendations, not a copy paste. What is it that you really liked about working with Sonia or Nidhi or anybody? Genuinely write that with a special skill set that you really identified working with them, and expect the same from them, right? Join groups. So there are a lot of good groups on LinkedIn. It could be working in Germany. It could be AI group. It could be coding group. Join, because a lot of people who are there will post job requirements. We'll post about conferences, we'll post about symposiums which you can actually apply to get opportunities join. Opportunities are plenty. It's just how much are you able to take on, and what length are you willing to put your effort into to harness those opportunities. It's all about your effort. Nothing is lacking in this world. There is abundance of everything. Join a group and get your skills endorsed by your network. So one of the other really good things about LinkedIn is if I've written my skill as sales, as educationalist, as a trainer, I can invite my network of people and say, hey guys, can you go and endorse my skills? So say ma'am will go, she's connected to me and she'll endorse my skill as a trainer or as a speaker. So what happens is if I have 100,000 people who say Nidhi is a good speaker and they're endorsed, somebody who's thinking of hiring me as a speaker will say, everybody talks, gives her a 5-star as a speaker, let's get her whether we've heard her or not. Opens an opportunity, right? So now, like I said, it's time to invest in your LinkedIn profile if you don't have it, and if you have it, to spruce it up. And yeah, so I have worked with a lot of, and why I say I use LinkedIn as a very strong tool of empowerment, because for students, I feel it gives them access, like I said, to go beyond the college campus for the placements. So if a Google is not coming here, but that's been your dream company, can you go to Google? Can you make yourself available and visible to them and say, you've been my dream company, these are my skill sets, and I would like to apply for this job, the job requisition is this. You have to show your interest. And trust me, more HR people are looking not just for the right skill set, but they're looking for motivated individuals. Because retrenchment is a huge attrition problem in companies. So they would rather get people who aspire to be with them and will stay a long haul, and they invest in their skill sets, in their leadership training and all of that, than just hire people who's going to leave them after a year. So make yourself available, connect with the right HR people, connect with recruiters and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I aspire to be or to do, and I'm looking for job opportunities in this area. Would you be able to keep my resume on file and just connect with me anytime there's a good opportunity, and I would love to take that. Show that you're interested, show that you want it, show how much of it you're willing to work hard towards, so that the other person sees your interest and wants to give you a shot. Okay? There are millions and millions of people out there who graduate from a B school every single year. What will make you get ahead of them, whether they're from a premier school or a less premier school than yours? It is only your willingness to show that you care and you want this so bad. And don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create your own opportunities. And you have the tools available to create your opportunities, to open doors for yourself. Get out of the bandwagon of I feel shy, how will I do it, I don't know how to speak in English properly, kaun mujhe dekega? No. Nobody cares whether you can speak in English well or not. All that can be acquired in 2 years like this. I will get you a grooming person who will change your wardrobe, your self-image, teach you some great words to speak in English, change your pronunciation. I could speak in English till grade 6. I couldn't speak in English. And now if somebody asks me to deliver in Hindi, I have to make an effort. I do it, but it's an effort. So what I'm saying is, no matter how late you are in life, everything can be acquired. What can't be acquired is the skill sets that you have which are unique to you. And that is what you need to capitalize on and build your career upon. This is why I'm unique, this is what I have, this is what I bring to the company, this is what I'm telling you that I can do for you. Give me a chance, let me show my worth, and I will not prove you wrong. And if you said that to me and I was sitting on the other side as an HR, I would give you that chance. Okay? So please, again, make yourself visible. The first step is LinkedIn. Make yourself visible, create your account, create a good profile of yourself, get it screened by some teachers, some other people, get professional help if you need to, get it well written and update it continuously. I did a project, I'll update it. ये नहीं कि आज किया 10 years तक तो पता ही नहीं है कि क्या है LinkedIn, right? Connect with people. LinkedIn allows you 100 free connects every week, which means in 1 month you can connect with 400 people. That's the power. Now, how do you find these 400 people? So initially you will find, okay, my parents, their friends, their kids, I remember their names, I found everyone. And connect with them too, because see, they saw you maybe 10 years ago. as a friend's daughter, right, or a son. They don't know that you're doing MBA now. So what LinkedIn does is, when you send somebody a connect request, a very natural tendency is that the person will go and look at your profile, who are you, what are you doing. When they read, you get seated in their mind. That, oh, she's now doing business, and I read that she's really an expert and she won some awards in AI and ML. So what this person does is, now they feel they have a connect with you, and they say, hey, we are looking for somebody who comes to, who joins our startup as an AI and ML specialist, would you be interested? There opens an opportunity. They are talking to a friend in a party, and Gaurav is talking to me and he says, hey Nidhi, I'm really, today I was telling him, I'm looking for a personal assistant so badly, who can organize all my work this and. Now I've told him, if he finds somebody's profile and he knows that person and he says, hey, I want to be an executive assistant to somebody who can teach me, groom me, he immediately remember, oh, Nidhi was saying this Monday, let me connect her to this person. So Nidhi doesn't know that person, but via the network, the connection has been formed. So you don't know what opportunities will come your way there. Well, you just have to keep minding it and see, and do it authentically, and do it without that, oh my God, I was on LinkedIn for 3 months, Nidhi said, and koi opportunity nahi hai, koi recruiter ne mujhe contact nahi kiya. Doesn't work like this. Have patience, keep doing your work, and keep connecting with recruiters, HR people, and see what can happen. Yeah. So I think that's it. Any questions so far? Or anything that you found challenging while building your own profile, you have questions on it, please ask me anything. Madam did tell me that if you have any other questions about business, entrepreneurship, starting your own company, feel free to ask. That's one of my domains of expertise, and I love to talk about business and scaling and entrepreneurship. If not, yes.
So ma'am, I have one question. Having an idea of being an entrepreneur is easy. We can get many ideas out of imagination and
Sure.
However, keeping that fire ignited for a long time is quite difficult. So how do we achieve it? How do we keep the fire ignited of that imagination?
The fire will stay ignited, the creativity will stay intact, the innovation will come very naturally if you're following something that is truly your passion. So the idea has to be generated not from, oh, everyone is doing edtech and everyone's becoming a millionaire, so I should be an edtech entrepreneur. Jackie, I don't like this field, but I am passionate about photography. I love photography. I want to create a business and monetize it from my passion of photography. Let me be creative and see what can I do. Can I create freelancing opportunities for myself as an entrepreneur? Because entrepreneurship is not just building a company which has 500 employees. Entrepreneurship could just be self-employment too, right? It's how you build your business to what scale you want it to be. You could have a platform where all photographers come share their pictures, people buy, like Unsplash, like Shutterstock. You could be a platform where photographers come and sell their services and say, book my service, right? And you make money out of it. You could just say, no, I just want to be a freelance photographer who's monetized and I go and render my services. I'm great at it. Your fire will never. You will keep finding ways to up yourself. And this is an absolute example of what I started. So after doing all the B-school and the hard work of going through competitive exams, what do? I suddenly say, I love dancing. I'm very passionate about fitness and health. So how do I marry these two along with a very strong business skill set that I love, So I created a business out of it. And what did? I opened Bollywood-inspired dance fitness studios around the world. I've been doing it for 20 years, right? I sold the company, I rebuilt it. What is it that still keeps me creative? What is it that still keeps me ignited, so passionate? You come and see me in a dance class, you're like, I can't believe that, she can teach for 3 hours and not get tired. After that, I might be on a stretcher, that's a different story. But for those 3 hours when the music is on and I'm in the class, I'm a different person existing. What keeps me still going? It's only the passion. What made me pivot my entire business model during COVID? Only my passion to continue. So if your entrepreneurship idea is fueled by your passion and something that you're very, very passionate about, doesn't have to be a skill set. I'm passionate about eradicating poverty from this world, from my community. That's a passion. That's your purpose. Now you might create a business model कि मैं skill development का एक center खोलूँगा, मैं vocational training में जाऊँगा. So that doesn't mean that's your passion in the sense that it's photography, but it's a purpose you're passionate about. And when you find that purpose and create that into an entrepreneurial idea, doors will open. You will never be bored. The fire will always be there. Any other questions? Yes.
So, how can they find out what we can offer like, which is different from others to the company? Because we need to put them in our summary and our headline. How to go?
What's your name?
Rajat.
Rajat. So Rajat, that only you know. What is unique to you? You know that everyone can code. But I code with this speciality that what somebody takes 1 hour, I can do in 5 minutes. That's my USP. I know that I can code in a way that, again, I'm not a coder, I'm not a techie, so I might be saying things which are absolutely not factual, but I code in a way that nobody can ever hack that code, right? That's my USP. Can I list that on the LinkedIn? Because I can say it with confidence that you make me sit and code and get hackers to do it and they won't be able to hack it. That's my USP, and that makes me stand out. So figure out, I'm not saying this could be it, but everyone has something very, very unique that others don't have. You will always have something, she'll always have something that even I after 40 years don't have. So that will make you stand apart even from a professional resume. But dig deep and say, this is what my passion stands me out. My unique skill set stands me out. What do others say about you as its unique strength? That, yeah, Rajat, you are amazing. Like, you take pictures like nobody else takes, and I can make that, like, get into modeling by just taking those random pictures you took and you get me a photo shot. So they think your strength is photography. Can you put that? That's your skill set. I think my strength is helping people scale their businesses and make money. So I put that. So it is what others think of you as your skill set. It is what you think of yourself as your skill set, and it is what you can deliver to the world as your skill set. Is what will create your uniqueness in your profile. Okay?
Like, it's good to be connected to the people, but what if every network is coming to you? Like, if a person I don't know, he wants to connect with me, should I accept that or not?
So yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of times you get random requests, right? I get a lot of requests, people want to connect with me. Now you see, why would somebody want to connect with me? Either because they feel that I would be able to open a door of opportunity for them, or they feel that we just get inspired by her and reading about her, so I want to follow her or I want to be connected with her. It's really your own discretion. There are people you know, so you accept the connection. There are people you don't know, but if you read their profile, you can say that, okay, this person, if I'm connected to them, can open doors of opportunities for you. Or they are doing these things which I'm also interested in. So let me accept the connect request. And then you can send them a message saying that, it's great to be connected with you, and, how can we synergize together or collaborate or something like that. And after connecting, if you feel, and usually I have never had an experience of anybody spamming me on LinkedIn or being obnoxious or, being impersonal, but if you do feel, you can always unfriend them or unconnect them.
How to be present, like after creating my
Thought leadership, post articles. So I would say at least once a week post something. Post an engagement to engage your crowd, to express your thought leadership. Keep it connected. Like I said, connect the dots. It must be somewhere connected to what you want to do. Because you want to showcase to the people, see, I'm interested in photography. So I write about photography. I take pictures, and these are my pictures, so that show you that I am a good photographer. I have done internships for, say, artisans, and I've taken these product photo shoots. So you put those, create stories out of it. Right? And that will really create good engagement. It is not about just putting a random post. It is about story, engagement, connections, that people get emotionally connected to you, and then they feel, I love seeing what they post. What they post is inspiring. Why do we go to post and watch, or we subscribe to certain channels, right? Because we find their post motivating, because we find it inspiring. We feel we get some feeds that give us ideas. Same way. Right? Yeah.
Let's say I have posted some article or post in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
How to make it more visible to other people. Because as of my knowledge, how LinkedIn algorithm works is first when I post something, it goes to first connection.
Yeah.
Then if they like that, that will go
They'll
to
share.
their friends, and that's what
So make your post more interesting. See, the only way to have people share on LinkedIn or anywhere is if they find it interesting enough to share it with their news people. If I don't think your story is interesting, why will I share it on my newsfeed? I will only share stuff that I feel connected to and I think it's worth sharing the information with the world. So make yourself more interesting and create that expertise in what you're writing, how you're writing, that people find it gainful knowledge for the world. Yeah.
Is it okay to post something and that has that?
Yeah, absolutely. And create spin stories. So, okay, so there's a completely separate session I do on how do you make your creative and storytelling engaging. Because anything, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, that you use it for your business or whatever you do, gone are the days of direct selling. You cannot go to somebody and say, listen, I run this business and मैं soap बेचती हूँ, मेरे से soap खरीदो. Nobody will buy it. Why will they buy your soap? To tell an engaging story about your soap. The origin of how the soap was made, right? Storytelling has become such an important art of selling. The direct selling is something that is something of the past. The new age of selling is engaging people, enrolling them in your vision and your story, and then getting them to want to subscribe to your service or product. So if you want to create something that is of the past, you post that picture of the past or something that you've done even like a year ago, but create an engagement or story which has some connection to the recent, right? That going back 1 year ago and I'm reminded of the amazing trek I did to the foothills of the Himalayas, how difficult it was. And now that I'm in business school, it makes me realize that every day when I'm studying and every day when I pass through an exam, it's like almost like my trek to the Himalayas. That I have to take small steps and endure it to really see the fruitful result at the end. Now see, for a simple thing like a trek to the Himalayas, what is the story I spun, right? So it's about creating stories. Anything else?
You talked about making your article more interesting. So what's interesting for me might not be interesting to other people.
That's okay.
No, so should we tailor the article according to what the people
No, I always say, do what is close to your heart. Only then can you write stuff. Because the moment I tell you, write me an article on photography, and that's not your area of interest, or that's not something that you really feel inclined towards, you have to think so much. It's a chore for you. It's like, oh my God, Nidhi's given me an assignment, I'll essay likhna padega, it's so boring. And if you are saying, what is your area of interest? Operations, okay? And I tell you, how do we create operational excellency in businesses? It comes to you naturally and you'll be like, you should do this and this can be done, that can be done. It's from your heart. And when it's from your heart, we can receive it from your heart as a reader. And when I receive it in authenticity coming from you, I will want to share it. So always make sure that it is coming from your heart. And it doesn't matter if 2 people read it or 1 person read it, think of it, it's like your professional journal. That you are sprucing up your writing skills, you are sprucing up your communication skills, you are sprucing up your own ability to think beyond by writing. Because every time you write, you open your mind. Right? Alright, I think we should close here. So thank you so much for your time. In terms of how you can really transform this particular area and use it to your own benefit. And I really urge you all, it's not just a session we do or I do because I think it's a good thing to talk about, because I personally believe, and I have experienced it myself, in my own business, my biggest sales that I closed was through a cold call relationship on LinkedIn. I found my buyer on LinkedIn through some keyword searches. I kept communicating with her without directly selling her, this is what I do, so buy, but always telling her, this is what I've been doing, or this is something new that our artisans did, I just wanted to share it with you. And finally, after 1.5 years, I get a message from her and she said, we are introducing a new line with hand block printing. I would be interested to collaborate and see what your artisans can do. And that was my biggest sale ever. But it took 1.5 years, but it's worth it. Right? So what I'm saying is, you may not get your dream job right in the first instance through your first, but you stay persistent. You know that my goal is to get to Google or Amazon. And these are paths, these are ladders that I have to, each step that I have to climb to get there. And small steps, but my vision is clear, my goal is clear to me. And I can use this route to open those opportunities for myself. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for telling us, yes, that LinkedIn is such a great professional tool that we all should use, and also we try to enhance and we try to upgrade our profile. So